Might get high with this only, I think.
And slow, that means it's more viscous, probably looking at a full body whiskey. If it is thin and fast, that means it's less viscous, probably like a light bodied whiskey.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Vanita and I hope you guys are doing well. In today's video we are at Paul John's distillery. So here we are to check out how the Paul John's whiskey is actually made. We're gonna check out the whole process of how this exquisite drink is made with just 3 ingredients. So let's go. Hopefully we'll get to try their exquisite drinks as well. So let's go.
The biggest market for us is Europe, specifically France. We sell a lot in France. So much so that we have a couple of expressions exclusively sold in France, like Pondicherry, Nirvana, in fact, was sold exclusively in France before launching in Goa. So, and also, there's no fun if we don't take the competition to the home of the Scots. So, we are available in Scotland as well. So, we want to comply with the Scottish as well as the Euro regulations, according to which whiskey is a distilled alcoholic beverage with a minimum of 40% ABV. It's alcohol by volume and is made of mashed fermented grain. Meaning there are 4 types of grains that you're permitted to use to make your whiskies with, which are barley, corn, rye and wheat. And the final condition for the spirit to be known as whiskey, it has to be matured in a wooden cask for a minimum of 3 years. So universally, it's been accepted that any alcoholic beverage that you make by using byproducts of sugar or juices of sugar cane, it's known as rum. With that logic, most of the whiskies sold in India are technically rum, but since they're being sold as whiskies, consumed as whiskies, statistics says India is the largest consumer of whiskey. These are the other brands. Under OC, you have brandy, you have rum, you have vodka, Ole, Monk Castle whiskey. This sells in Japan as well. So different other brands. Showed you the chute downstairs where the barley is fed in. So it's taken up through the bucket elevator, and the first thing that we need to do is get rid of the stones and other impurities. So we passed it through this equipment. As you can see, it's literally known as the stone remover. So you don't have to guess what it does. It acts like a de-stoner, takes away any stones and other impurities in it. We collect about 11,000 to 11,500 liters of it, and then we empty it into the fermentation wash bath. And the next thing that we do is we add in the third ingredient in our whiskey, which is the 18,000 liters. So this is an 18,000 liter capacity wash bath. So we have collected about 11,500 to 12,000 liters of what? The sugary syrup that's been emptied into the fermentation wash bath, and then we add about 3 kilos of distillers yeast. The distillers yeast that we use is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, but the strain of it is always a secret. Only the master distiller will use. So it's in dry form, and about 3 kilos of it is sterilely introduced, and then we take it forming for.
Might get high with this only, I think.
No, we'll try. Go a little closer.
You do that, it becomes stronger, you know. But it's strong, no, it just hits your head.
You're like wasabi kind of.
Yeah, it just hits you so bad. Cheers. Cheers. Take a bit.
This is after fermentation. This is beer.
Yeah, this is beer. This is wheat beer.
Wheat beer, exactly.
Yeah.
Craft beer.
Craft beer.
It's it's at about 6 to 6.5%. Obviously, it's not going to cut it for us as whiskey.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of chemical compounds that we do not need in our whiskey as well. So what is the next process? That's the distillation. Condensers. Behind them are the chillers for that additional bit of cooling, and this is the spirit safe. Alright, so the reason why we use copper is because of the fact that copper is a good conductor of heat. Copper is malleable, easy for us to work with. But more importantly, copper has this property of neutralizing sulfur and other off notes we may get in the distiller's beer. So some of the sulfur compounds have notes of rotten eggs, burnt rubber. In case you were to look at it also, you can see it's slightly cloudy, hazy, and you can see some impurities in it as well. How does it smell like? You get those sweet notes, but there's some off notes also.
It's very. It seems very
Pungent,
unbalanced.
Yeah,
It's very
you
hard.
get like some burnt notes. Alright. So the percentage of alcohol is also low. It's at about 17 to 19%. Obviously, it's still not going to cut it as whiskey, because for us to consider it as whiskey, minimum is 40% ABV. So what do we do with the low pints? The low pints is sent into the spirit still for it to be distilled again. Alright, I told you our whiskeys are double distilled, meaning literally being distilled twice.
As the smell, yeah, it's more barley, more wheat. As the alcohol,
Jaggery, very.
yeah.
But jaggery, all the sweet notes.
At the end, it's just barley now.
Barley, right? Now you can take a sip of it and try it.
Is it?
Yeah.
This is vodka for you. I'll take it. I'll take it.
For your purpose only.
You'll feel the bone over there.
So these are glasses made by a company known as Brilliance, which is in Scotland. So why do we prefer this as against a white wine whiskey glass? Because if I were to use a white wine whiskey glass and put my whiskies in it, the flavors would just dissipate. Whereas in this, the tulip shape of it ensures that it's all restricted and it's easier for me to get the notes. So I don't really have to make the struggle to get the notes. But first, we'll start off with the Brilliance. So Brilliance has been matured for a minimum of 5 to 6 years. It's bottled at 46%. And if I were to introduce our whiskies to somebody who's never tried Pauljohn whiskey before, I would definitely start it off with the Brilliance. Cheers. In Brilliance, you got fruity, floral notes. This is confectionery.
Viscosity is so...
Viscosity would be on a higher
high.
side.
Actually good. It's very nice. It's very different. The thing is that drinks are very good. Even Brilliance is pretty good. The Brilliance is good, but I like this flask.
There are 5 things you look for in a glass of whiskey, but before that, you need the perfect apparatus. It's the same as
Previous
Brilliance.
It's the same in the
Brilliance is the first one.
First one. So
Second
this
one
is the
was quicker.
sequence that you take.
Thank you, Pankaj, for showing us around. It was a lovely experience, and we got to learn a lot from today's tour, and we also enjoyed so many different types of Paul John's whiskey. Would you like to say something about us as a...
The three of you were great actually.
Yeah.
In fact, I had a great time. I've met Aditya before, so it was a pleasure to meet him again and show him around the distillery. And the best part was to educate you, somebody who had no or little knowledge about whiskey, and I'm hoping that you're carrying a lot back home. So this is what I would tell others. If you want to know how the Great Indian Single Malt Pauljohn whiskey is made, right here at the holy place of the Great Indian Single Malt. So join me, Pankaj Purna. I am the Distillery Manager here, and it'll be my pleasure to walk you around and show you how the Great Indian Single Malt whiskey is made. So the next time you are here in Goa, drop in at Cuncolim Industrial Estate at the Pauljohn Centre.
Thank you very much, Pankaj.
Cheers.
So this is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified every time I upload a new video. And I'm sure that was a very informative video for all of you guys. If you guys want to see more such videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Bye.